Go in this video I'm going to show you some other tools in the edit mode when you are in editing mode. Yeah, so that's when you really start modeling. So let's get closer here. Let's use this cube. Right, so I'm going to tab key for my edit mode, and here I am. So I wanted to show you some of these ones here. The ones that we're going to use most is like extrude. This is extrude, inset, bevel, loop cut, the knife, and we will use those later. Let's just focus on these ones. They are the main ones that you're going to be using the most. So I'm in edit mode, and let's start selecting a face. Okay, so I select this face, and then I can extrude that face. So I come here in my extrude. Mind you, if you click and hold, you have different ways of extrusion, right? So at the moment, I'm just going to do a normal extrusion. So as soon as you click there, there's this plus button, so you can just bring it up, okay? And then you can also use the keys like S for scale, R for rotation, and G for move. Right, so I could do this, right? And then I can scale a little bit. S for scale, I scale proportionally. I press in the white circle there, and I can also rotate. Yeah, so and then I can extrude again. Okay, extrude is the shortcut is E. Yeah, so it is extruding. Look, in the direction of the normal. Okay, oh sorry, I just apologize here. Extrude, there you go. Okay, so I can do the same thing with the other one, so I can extrude here, and again I can scale, and so on. Right, so that's the extrude. If you have, like, say two, yeah, two of those, and then you say E for extrude, you're extruding in that direction. Okay, so let's change to extrude along normals. Doesn't make any difference here, but it's actually changing, it's doing differently. Let's have a look at the other one with a better example. Let's say if I extrude here along normals now, you see it's extruding along both normals from both faces. Yeah, so let's look at the difference now if I go back to extrude region. Okay, so if extrude region now, it's only going that direction. That's what I want to show you. Okay, so if it's not extruding the direction you want, make sure that you change here what exactly, which direction, extruding region or along normals. Yeah, and you can extrude individual as well. So let's try that one. Control Z. I have these two faces, and if I say extrude individual, that means they are not going to be extruding connected. They are coming out completely separate. This is really, really useful. Okay, so make sure, think about the shape you want to, and then see what the best way to extrude, right? The other tool we're going to use, we're going to be using a lot, is inset faces. So let's select this face here, and I'm going to insert this I for, the shortcut. So select that, I press scale, I, and you don't need to press anything. So as soon as you press I, you're already insetting. Yeah, so you can click that, then you can maybe press G, and then you can move. Right, so let's do that. So this is really good. So if you're doing buildings and stuff, or anything you're modeling, really, you're going to use the inset face quite a lot. So let's just press I for inset face, and be careful, you can't go outwards because, it's just go in. That's why it's called inset face. Okay, right. So the other one you're going to use, let's just remove this guy now. Let's create a new, let me just edit mode, object mode. Just put it aside, just leave it there. It's a very weird shape. So select, add a new cube. Let's add a new cube here. Let's have a look now. Actually, I'm going to delete this one. It's annoying me. Right. So I'm going to edit mode. Edit mode. And now let's have a look. I'm going to show you this other tool here, the loop cut. Loop cut is very useful, right? Because now I can decide where I want to extrude, if I want to cut this thing up. So, but I can do in a loop. So I can select this face and that face, yeah, and then I will select loop cut. So it's gonna give me a cut either on, you have to see which direction you want. So I want to create a division here, right? You can create more than one. So when you do that, if I can do this one, look, if I click here, and why I click here, this is still down here, is on, right? So I can say, okay, I want 2 loop cuts or 3, right? So this is good, very useful. Then press enter and go back to, yeah. So now I loop cut. So I can then select this separately and extrude, for example. Yeah. So I say I can extrude. See, I'm selecting the extrude separate. It's not doing separately for some reason. Extrude individual. Oh well, there you go. Now it's extrude individual. Right. So I can select this two, and this one I want to extrude along normals, and then you be careful when you go in, because you need to make sure that you're not overlapping things. Yeah. So here, for example, you created a kind of a facet that is kind of has no thickness, so this will cause some artifacts, and that's no good. So we're going to talk more about this later. So yeah, you see I'm overlapping here. I'm not happy with that. Can always scale and make sure it's not overlapping there, right? Okay, there you go. Actually, I don't like that, so I'm going to go back to normal and extrude along normals, but I'm just going to bring a little bit only. And here I will have problems as well, but I'll explain that later. So let's undo this for now, right? So I can just extrude this bit. Have a go at this. Yeah. Make sure you do outwards, not inwards for now. So we want to avoid overlapping or creating thin faces. For example, here I have one face that has got 2 edges, and they are kind of in the same position, so they have no thickness. This will cause problems. So make sure that you do outwards. There you go. Right. So now I want to loop cut again. So I want to loop cut here. You can move as well. So if you click and hold, you can move. So I can create this. Let's create a table. Let's create a table. Okay, so I can show you how to create a table. So I know exactly what I mean. Cube. So I'm going to scale that cube in Z. Right, I'm gonna G for moving up here. Okay, so let's say I want to put 4 legs on this table. So how can I do this? I'm going to my edit mode, and I'm going to loop cut. I can loop cut here. Let's just do it very quickly here. 1, and then I'm going to select this one here. You see at the top there is showing you how the distance you want. So let's put 0.4. I'm just doing approximately now. So yeah, 0.4. Okay. So I want another one here in the middle, and I have another one there. Don't really need the one in the middle part, you know. So 0.45, and you see I'm looking at my top left there. There's, you know, as I move, this edge slide is saying where exactly where it is. So approximately this. So now I created this four faces down here. There, oh, make sure you deselect that, and then you select those faces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I can just extrude down. Okay, so then I have a table, right? So let's see, I want the middle of this table just to inset a little bit, so I can select those guys here. And I can EI for insert here. Maybe extrude a little bit, something like that, I don't know. Yeah, imagine I want to make this a chair now, so I can come here and I just can extrude these guys up there. Okay, so then I end up with a chair. Okay, so you can do anything with this. We can do weapons, you can do all sorts of objects, walls. Yeah. So let's think about that. Let's say open a hole in here. So what I could do, I could, in fact, let's say, create two edge loops here, and then I am going to select those faces. Oh, don't forget to deselect that tool. Now select the face, select the face, select the face, and then I could eventually delete those faces and I create a hole. But the thing is, I create the hole, you can see the hole in here, so I would have to create this bridge, those two, to create a facet here. That's another thing, but as I am here now, I'm going to show you. So I can create the face. Okay, let's create that face and that face. I need to create, the edge and the edge, I create a face. So I go to edge, bridge edge loops, and then I create a face. Bridge, I see, select the two edges and bridge edge loops. Right, so here I am. I just showing this, we're going to do a lot more of this, but you know, bridge edge loops, and you carry on doing that, and you end up with a nice chair using the tool called edge loops. Okay, right, so the best thing is now to explore those tools first. Explore it first, then think about making objects, chairs, tables, you know, you can make a gun or any other type of object, right? Okay, I see you in the next video. Oops, there you go.